Hey guys, what's going on? Here's another video. This is my Mayhem Collection. Mayhem is a Norwegian black metal band that started in 1984. They released their first demo in 1986, which is garbage. Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But 1987, they released an EP, Death Crush, which is pretty good. My problem with it is it's really short. Like, the title track, Death Crush, is kind of like, eh. But the rest of it's pretty good. I like Necrolust a lot. I like Pure Fucking Armageddon. It's pretty solid. I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. And then after that, in 1993, they released Live in Leipzig, which is a legendary album with their original singer dead. If you don't know the backstory with Mayhem, go look it up. I'm not going to rehash it here. There's so many fucking videos on it. The lead singer killed himself, the bassist killed the guitarist, there were church burnings, blah, blah, blah. You know, everyone's heard it a million times at this point. But, yeah, Live in Leipzig, I don't have that album, but it's, I guess it's like the only official recording with Dead on vocals. And, very good live album, awesome stuff. I'd probably, well, so I'd give Death Crush, 7.5. I'd probably get Live in Leipzig like a 8.5. His vocals are well earned as far as legendary. And then in 1994, they released their first full length, De Mysterious Dom Sathanas, which is one of the most classic black metal albums like ever made. I bought this copy when I was on vacation in Ireland when I was 16, and I remember listening to the title track in this like abandoned castle that I like hiked out to in Ireland. So I don't remember where, but, and I remember like just sitting in the castle and listening for the very first time the title track, which is, for those who don't know, this is a very like operatic, atmospheric song. And it was like, I'll never forget that experience. It was so fucking magical. But yeah, this is an amazing album. Start to finish, I think this was on my top black metal albums of all time. Start to finish, just absolutely brilliant. Every fucking song. There's a lot of diversity. I love the production. It's old school, but it's like it complements the music so well. I love the drum sound on this too. You know, it has Freezing Moon, Life Eternal, Pagan Fears, Buried by Time and Dust. I mean, there's so many good songs in here. So yeah, this is a 9.5 out of 10, easy. After that, in 1997, after a lineup change because the fucking singer got killed, or not this, yeah, well, the guitarist got killed, and Varg, the bassist, who was coincidentally in Burzum, left the band. They brought in Blasphemer and Necrobutcher. They released an EP called Wolfslayer Abyss, which, again, 1997. I love this album. I will say, and this goes for their next album too, but the production is a little like, I don't know, it leaves something to be desired. But all the songs in here are really strong. I Am Thy Labyrinth, Fall of Saras, Ancient Skin, Symbols of Blood Swords, which is a good prelude to their next full-length album. So the new vocalist on here is Maniac, whereas on this album it was Attila, and he won't come back for a couple albums, but for this release in 1997 it was Maniac, and he does a phenomenal fucking job on this album. It's so evil and demonic, and the songs are ruthless, and it's a great first appearance by Blasphemer on guitar. He really fills the shoes of Euronymous very well. Just a violent, evil album. And again, it's an EP, but this is essential if you're a Mayhem fan. So I would give this easily a 8.5 out of 10. And then after that, in 2000, they released Grand Declaration of War, which I do not have, because I have mixed feelings about it. There's some elements about it that I do like, but the vocals on it are just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, there's certain times when he's doing this, like, spoken word shit, and it's just like, nobody's asking for this. Like, Who greenlit this? Like, I just don't get it. I mean, I will say the musicianship is great. Hellhammer is really, the drummer, Hellhammer, is really going into his kind of progressive, like, technical style, which is awesome. As a drummer, I really appreciate that. And some of the songs have some really cool riffs, like Crystallized Pain and Deconstruction, A Time to Die, there's a couple other ones. I don't know, it's like, album has like the weird, there's like part 1, 2, and 3 of like certain songs. It's such a weird album. So I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. I don't really like the vocals too much, but the music's like not bad at all. So I don't know, I'd probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10. You know, I don't really need it. But then in 2004, 4 years later, they released Chimera, which I don't have, but I wish I did have, because that's a super, super solid fucking piece of black metal right there, man. I mean, as far as like quasi modern day sounding black metal, that's about as good as it gets. I mean, like, every musician's firing on all cylinders. The songwriting is great. The vocals are finally back to being great, like kind of like in Wolfslayer Abyss, but less raw. And yeah, just pretty much every song in there is really memorable. I love You Must Fall, Whore, Dark Night of the Soul, Rape Humanity with Pride, Slaughter of Dreams is really cool. The last two are kind of like not quite as memorable as the first 6, but they're just as good. Not just as good, but they're very good. It's definitely a fucking step up from Grand Declaration of War, and I would like to pick that album up at some point. Honestly, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. It's a very good album. So then after that, Maniac, the vocalist, left, and in 2007 they released Ordo Ad Chaos with Attila back on vocals. And I got this while I was in Boston years ago. I think it was like actually when it first came out. So this is a weird album. The production is very compressed, and the songwriting in general is just really odd. Like, Blasphemer really puts his signature style on here, and I really like it a lot, but I can see how it's polarizing. Also, the lyrics on here are like really interesting and all about like kind of sort of like conspiracy theory, occultism, like the fall of man, and like the ancient alien intervention sort of shit. Not that I'm saying they got their shit from ancient aliens, because that show's like fucking stupid, but like occult lore and stuff like that. It's really cool. I like the direction they took with this. It's a very, very dark album. Wall of Water, which basically takes their lyrics from, if I'm not mistaken, is it the Bhagavad Gita or one of those ancient texts where it describes like what happened after like this cataclysm came. Deconsecrate is a ferocious song. Illuminate, Eliminate is one of my favorite songs by them. Key to the Storms is great, and then they end with the song Anti. I love this album. It's very divided. Some people love it, some people don't. I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. The production takes a minute to get into because it's so compressed and kind of lo-fi. But again, the musicianship is just absolutely fantastic and great songs. Yeah, good album. And then after that, in 2014, they released Esoteric Warfare, which I have on CD. And this is a continuation of Ordo Ad Chaos, albeit better production this time. I really like this album a lot. The first couple songs are really, really good. I would say up until like the 7th song. So that's like a good stretch of songs. I mean, like Watchers, Psywar. The fucking drumming on this album is like literally unreal. And I know like he does like I don't know if he does like doubles on the feet, and then he does like the push-pull technique. So it's not like it doesn't give off the same intensity as, say, like someone like Frost or Dominator, who does like strictly singles on the drums. But he makes it work, and it's astounding the speeds he's able to reach, even if he is doing the kind of cheating type thing, which I don't really know if it's cheating, it's just a different style. But again, the guitar riffs too are just like insane. Like the picking is so fucking fast. The vocals are very good. It's Attila again. And yeah, it's a solid album. It kind of veers off at the end of it. Like it kind of gets a little uninteresting. Probably like the last 3 songs, I'd say. But overall, it's a very solid effort. Definitely worth having. I'd give this 8 out of 10. It's a good album. And then after that, in 2019, they released Damon. I don't have that. I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I feel like it's a little overly produced. Every song is pretty much like mid-paced. Like they abandoned the whole like hyper-velocity aspect of the songs. Actually, you know what? I think Blasphemer left after this album. So they got a new guitarist. I think it's the guy from like, I don't know, he like did guitar on like Thornography for Cradle of Filth or some shit. T-Lock, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's been in a bunch of shit. You know, there's some good riffs. There's some good moments. I feel like the album also suffers from what a lot of modern day black metal suffers from, is they don't let the fucking riffs breathe. It's constant like vocals, like every second, like vocals. And so you can't really digest the song very easily because it's just like everything's kind of thrown at you at once. With the exception of like Falsified and Hated is pretty good. And then, it's the fucking Invoke the Oath is cool. That's like a good atmospheric song. But yeah, I mean, it's good, but it's also not particularly memorable. So that's kind of why I don't own it. But, you know, it's fine. I'd give it, I don't know, like 6.5 out of 10. They kind of lost some of the magic in their past albums, but, you know, they've been around for so long. I mean, who could blame them, I guess, you know? But, yeah, so Mayhem tours extensively. Who knows when the next album will be, but, you know, they have a fairly solid discography, and they definitely deserve their reputation, or their legendary status, I'd say. So, yeah, you know, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.